Welcome back, folks. Now today, following up on the previous video I did, we did a video on this little baby. It's the Eric's Hill. Now I'm not just saying buy one of these, but you can buy one of these as well. Cheap and cheerful. You know, they're all cheap and cheerful, to be honest. They're thermometers. Now the thing is, you really want to know how to use them. Now there's lots of methods, and I'm going to show you what I do, including books and how to get there. These are sheets that in the bakery industry we get charts and stuff given to us. So we're going to cover this in this video, which to Joe Hunt in the street, and I'll be perfectly honest, a lot of you folks probably turn around and say, well, why do we need this, Steve? Isn't 20 Celsius or round the room temperature pretty good for everything? Well, it is, but sometimes you want to be a bit more on the money. Now this method is designed for whether you're an everyday baker or a once in a while baker. But if you bake every 12 months, don't even bother, you know, waste of time. You know, in fact, I'd give up baking if you're only doing it once a year. Only joking. Only joking. I don't want to upset anybody. You know, if you've tried baking and you've tried it over and over and you're still unsuccessful at baking, then you should be here watching me, because I am teaching you. Even the novice baker can learn from this. So it's not as though you're professionals. Even the professionals might be listening to this. I gather they will be, because they think to themselves, yeah, let's see what Steve's up to today. You know, has he got it right? So you can put a comment below and say, didn't get that quite right. But as a baker, a professional, I can tell you straight away, there is no perfect answer to controlling temperature. There's so many elements at home, in the bakery, it is all over the place. But today I'm going to show an easy route to get roughly, it's a guide, so you can almost get on the money every time. So whether you're using a thermo monitor or a straightforward thermometer, this is just a straightforward digital one. This is the one that you stab in everything. Now, these are ideal for finding out your temperatures of your breads. And again, you can use these for cakes. Now, I will show you the workings out how to get that perfect dough, well, give or take. So this is one thing you need to be doing, is keeping a diary of what you do. So whether you're baking once a week, once a month, it's no point if you're doing it once a year, but this is ideal. So take it, for example, that was Tuesday of last week, and I've wrote down all the temperatures, flare temperatures, and that made it simple. Now we come across, and obviously we've got Wednesday, Thursday, and see, we got things like spot on. That means that temperature was perfect for that particular day, which you remember that, and because you've got that written down, you try to recreate this the following day. And the same down here, you could come to a point where you come over here, oh, look, high. So although I got it right the day before, on Friday, it was too high really. So something needed to be sorted out. And even though I put in old dough, it was the same temperature of the flour, so it didn't really make much difference. Now coming on to Saturday, once again, this time I've cut down the yeast. So if you remember, things like cutting out yeast, if you felt as your dough's going too quick, though the dough temperature's right, you then need to cut your yeast and just keep a complete diary of what you're doing. Now today, I was in the bakery, and obviously I thought, well, I'm going to start making a bit of a graph. So I started off with my dough temperatures exactly the same. Now bakery's always going to be colder on a Monday. So once again, I've kept the details of everything I've got here. Once again, I've cut the yeast down. Now today that worked out perfect. You know, so I was really happy with that. Now one thing I didn't put in the previous pages was the room temperature, which was probably more important as well, because each room varies. So this is based on a dough room, which I'm using in my bakery. And then tomorrow I can go straight across here. I know what these are, so I'm going to try it and recreate these over here with a bit of luck. So how do we get to this formula? This is a straightforward formula set out. Now, in the bakery industry, this is the sort of thing we've been doing for years. Well, I haven't, but most bakers and bakers have been doing for years. Now, for example, this is just an example, by the way. And I'll get onto the reason why it's only an example. Now, for example, the dough temperature requires to be 80 Fahrenheit. Now that's, you know, this is a guesstimate figure, but let's, for argument's sake, you want 80 Fahrenheit. The flour temperature is to say 54 Fahrenheit. So you need then to find out the temperature of the water. So this is a times 2. So you've got 80 times 2 minus the flour temperature. And then 106 is what your water wants to be. So it's a pretty straightforward method. Now remember, this is only rough calculations, and your room at home will be completely different to this. The workings out will be the same, but then you need to work out what dough temperature you want. So this has been set out by the bakery industry. So it gives you some idea. Hopefully you can see this all right. And once again, it gives you some idea of temperature controls. So you've got your flour temperatures all working down here, to the highest to the lowest. And once again, suggested dough temperatures. And then obviously the warmer it is, maybe wintertime, and that may be summertime. Though that says 76 Fahrenheit, you could find that you need to be down to 70 Fahrenheit in the summer. And once again, you've got your water temperatures. Now, some of these water temperatures may be totally impossible in the summer. That's why you use those nice things called ice cubes. Well, there you go, folks. Wasn't that nice and easy? Now, for me, I've been in the bakery industry that long now. How long? 50 odd years, give or take. I was a child. But then we were taught this is what these things are for, hands. You put your hand into the flour or into the water and you can feel the temperature. So it gives you a rough idea. And when you walk in the bakery or a room, you say, God, I need a coat on. So you know it's cold. So there is a lot of elements in baking, especially for temperatures. So I'm not saying you're going to get it right every time and perfect every time, but this method is as close as you can get. I've been testing it out for a bit just to see how I would get on if I'd been doing this since I was a kid. And I can actually now understand why some other bakeries have used this method. Now, I dare to say, once again, you can use this method for sourdough or any type of baking. And especially, again, you can use the same method for cake making as well. Yes, I know, it's not dough, but at the end of the day, for making cake recipes do have to be a certain temperature to make them work. There we go, folks. If you like this type of content, please subscribe and please share. And don't forget to check out the description, because that is where you're going to find numbers of recipes and playlists, especially for you folk. And we'll see you again very shortly on the Crazy Baker channel. Laters!